Good morning, everybody. Let me just come back and let me just help Dr. Master Sir join.
Yeah. मैं स्क्रीन पे आऊँ तो
Hello and good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Abhishek.
Sir, we are eagerly waiting for you. And since the last session, everybody was very excited that this indegenious remedies that you have taught, and they want to learn more. So, thank you for accepting our request and giving your precious time to us. So many, sir. We have almost 50 people joining, and they are all eagerly waiting. So that without wasting time, I'll request you to please start, sir, teaching us.
Okay, so continuing the mother tinctures and the rare Indian
Indian remedies.
herbs, another remedy that comes to my mind is Graviola officinalis. Now, Graviola officinalis has a maximum anti-cancerous property in the leaves. And when the mother tincture is prepared using the leaves and sometimes even the roots of the plant, it becomes a potent cancer fighting agent. Now, how do we use it in homeopathy? It is very close to carcinosin. So, whenever there is a family history of cancer, past history of cancer, recurrent cancer, think of Graviola officinalis. You can either use a 3x potency or 6C potency, or mother tincture is also available in St. George Pharmacy. So you can use 2 drops 2 times a day. Better use it as an intercurrent remedy. So you can use it on every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Monday to Thursday, you can also think of a constitutional homeopathic medicine, whatever comes for the patient. But this is a very good, potent cancer fighting agent which will treat the cancer miasm if there is a strong family history or if there is a strong past history. The other symptoms of this particular remedy is for hypertension as well as for hypotension. Another very usefulness of this remedy is antidepressant. It's very important antidepressant. Uh, sadness, sadness without any cause, depression coming during the male menopause or female menopause. Also, it gives you a nice tranquilizing sleep. So people who have multiple thoughts and the sleep is disturbed because of that, Graviola officinalis is very good sedative. And last and the most important thing which I find it very useful is to improve the complexion. If there are melanosis, melanotic patch, dark circle, brown patch, brown circle, anywhere in the body, if you apply regularly Graviola mother tincture locally on those spots, slowly, the spots become lighter. So for local application to improve the complexion of the skin, Graviola is a very good remedy. So overall, we started with cancer and then I told you the other uses of Graviola officinalis. The next remedy that I would like to think about is Guarana. Guarana contains lots and lots of caffeine, and that is why it is a very useful remedy for people who have regular recurrent headaches for no reason. In homeopathic language, we call them sick headache. When there is no cause, but people are regularly prone to such attacks, or people who take lot of caffeine in the form of cold drinks, tea, coffee, any other stimulants, and then get headaches. This is a very important thing. Another, if you are doing gymming, if you are doing athletics, it improves your performance by enhancing your stamina. So it is a very good drug to improve your stamina, to reduce your physical fatigue, to reduce your mental fatigue, and to prevent weight loss. This is a beautiful remedy. I again repeat, people who do gymnasium, athletics, these people, if they want to enhance their athletic performance, then you should think of this remedy because it really helps you to reduce your physical fatigue. Another very useful condition is chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS. Now it's a disease where you get severe body ache, severe pain, correct, in the body, and stiffness, and there is no cure for this particular illness in allopathy. But in homeopathy, this is one of the best medicine. It also, mother tincture of this remedy also enhances your sexual desire, sexual appetite, sexual performance. So this is another extra advantage. So we started with headache, then we went to the athletic part, the gymnastic part. Then we went to chronic fatigue syndrome.
Chronic fatigue syndrome.
And then we went to the sexual power of this particular condition and the sick headaches. So remember, this is a beautiful remedy for all these conditions that I have just described to you.
Okay.
The next remedy that comes to my mind is Goteria gomeri. Now, this is such a famous remedy. All homeopathic pharmacies are doing a lot of publicity for high cholesterol. But for me, this is also very useful for gallstones. Okay, so like
Yes.
Fuberia officinalis, this is also a very useful remedy for gallbladder stones. If they are accompanied by elevated cholesterol, if they are accompanied by high level of a triglyceride, Goteria gomeri is also very useful for kidney stones. So people who have high kidney stones with gallbladder stones, the result will be much more better. Also, when liver enzymes are high, so if SGPOT, SGOT, GGTP, if they are persistently high, even if urea is high because of the stone or creatine is high because of the stone, this is the best remedy in mother tincture form that can help you.
Okay.
Then we go to another remedy is what is known as Guggul or Guggul.
Google.
So Guggul and Guggul are the same medicine because this is one of the best medicine for lowering the cholesterol. Also, when there is a severe arteriosclerosis. So here, the clinical indication is with arteriosclerosis. So with blockages in the coronary, that's very important. Blockages in the carotid artery, and with high cholesterol. In young people, I use this a lot for acne which are very obstinate, or in cases of psoriasis, where patient has used lot of suppressive therapy. This is one of the best intercurrent remedy. It reduces the redness of psoriasis, it reduces the swelling of the psoriasis. So this is also a very good condition in dermatology.
Okay.
Why I say arteriosclerosis? Because research has shown that it prevents the thickening of blood vessels, and that is why it helps in arteriosclerosis. In all people, it is very good for osteoarthritis also, like osteoarthritic nosote or like Boswellia. So in a chronic osteoarthritis where patient cannot afford knee replacement, hip replacement, and he wants to maintain himself on homeopathy, believe me, Guggul is a very good mother tincture to be given to those patients. 10 drops 2 times a day will really reduce their pain and inflammation. Guggul also increases the production of collagen within your body, and once the collagen production increases, definitely it will be very good for bleeding disorders, especially when there is a chances of clot formation within your body. It inhibits platelet aggregation. So this is another very important thing, that people who are taking aspirin for a very long time and the blood is very thin and prone to hemorrhage because the platelets don't aggregate, or there are some hemorrhagic conditions where there are some lack of clotting factors, then Guggul is a very good remedy that will help you to build up your clotting factors. And that is why this is a very wonderful remedy when bone marrow is affected, and especially in condition like leukemia. So this is very important thing for useful in leukemia. But you can also use when the blood disorders are accompanied by other cancers of the head, face and neck, cancer of the breast, cancer of the lung, prostate cancer. But the bone marrow has to be involved. That is the rule. That is the most important symptom. So to conclude, I would say that we started with cholesterol and arteriosclerosis, thickening of the blood vessel. But then we also talked about osteoarthritis. Then we talked about increased collagen production. It affects on the bone marrow and how it helps to inhibit platelet aggregation, reducing clot formation. And then its anti-cancerous property when bone marrow is affected, especially in cases of leukemia. Okay. So this is all about Guggul. It's an Ayurvedic herb also. People use a lot of this medicine in Ayurveda also. Now I come to a remedy which I have been using for more than 40 years in my practice, and that is Harpagophytum procumbens. It was not available in India for a very long time. So I used to import it from Germany. Now this particular herb is known as devil's claw. So if you look at the plant of devil's claw, it is totally deformed. And the doctrine of signature is when the joints are deformed, this is one of the important conditions. So one of the, it's a South African remedy herb. It comes from South Africa. Excellent for rheumatic condition. Arthritis of two joints are very important in this case, hip and knee. So whenever you see hips are affected, like avascular necrosis of the hip joint, osteoarthritis of the hip joint. Okay. Are there any modalities? There are no modalities, but in general, motion or exertion definitely aggravates the condition. Concomitant constipation and dyspepsia. There is always going to be an indigestion as a concomitant, either constipation or loud eructation or passing lot of gas or distension of abdomen becomes the concomitant for Harpagophyte. So if I have to conclude, again, devil's claw, deformity in the plants itself, so deformed joints, osteoarthritis, especially when hip and knee are affected. The concomitant part is dyspepsia, eructations, flatulence, constipation. That is very, very important in this particular case. Another remedy which is very good, which comes from India, from Tamil Nadu mostly, or from the South India, is Indigo tinctora. It is
Okay.
one of the most bitterest mother tincture, you can say that. And it is very, very useful in gout. So high uric acid or uric acid diathesis with gouty arthritis. So arthritis due to gout, and very useful remedy for promoting the growth of hair. So if somebody has a baldness, premature baldness, male pattern baldness, alopecia areata, this will promote the growth. What are the concomitants? Again, because it is so bitter in taste, it has a marked action on the liver. So biliousness, constipation, no appetite, eructation, flatulence distension. These are the concomitants for Indigo tinctora.
Tinctura.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We now go to another remedy, Lawsonia inermis.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
Lawsonia inermis is also a very astringent and an anti-hemorrhagic remedy. So I basically use it when there is a hemorrhage from the intestine due to colitis, due to Crohn's disease, and due to bacillary dysentery. Diarrhea can alternate with constipation. You can have mucus in the stool, you can have blood in the stool, but severe crampy pain before, during, and after stool. Sometimes you get also what is known as jaundice accompanying all these hemorrhagic phenomena. Also, a very good remedy on the skin for scabies. So people who are suffering from scabies, there are no modalities for that. But if you get vesicles in between the fingers which are scratching like crazy, and remedies like sulfur and soranum do not help, think of Lawsonia inermis.
Okay.
Lawsonia inermis sometimes has been mentioned in literature for cases of Alzheimer's and dementia. And why it is useful? Because it contains a very good amount of lecithin inside the plant. And that is why lecithin is a fat emulsifier and a very important source of nutrition to the brain. And that is why this is mentioned in literature for dementia and Alzheimer's disease. We go to the next mother tincture, which everybody knows, Mangifera indica. The mango. This is the season of mango, so we all think of this remedy. Now, how do we differentiate this remedy from other hemorrhagic remedy? Because it's a hemorrhagic remedy. Hemorrhage in Mangifera are passive, not active. Remember that. Not active like ipecac, not active like millefolium, but passive like vinca minor, passive like Ustilago, passive like Secalacor. And this hemorrhages usually come from uterus, kidney, and gastrointestinal symptoms. Concomitant, look for the teeth. Bleeding gums, gingivitis is a very important concomitant. And very important is that the menstrual cycle, if it's a female patient, is always very irregular in Mangifera, or there can be a polycystic ovarian disease. So that's a concomitant. In male, if you get an history of chronic gonorrhea or suppressed gonorrhea, nothing like that. But otherwise, it's a best remedy for passive hemorrhages from uterus, kidney, and intestine.
Okay. Okay.
Then we go to another remedy, Melissa officinalis.
Okay.
Now, Melissa officinalis is a very important tranquilizer. We have a remedy in homeopathy known as scutellaria or skull cap. It's the best tranquilizer. You can compare scutellaria with Valium, what is known as diazepam. Another remedy in homeopathy is Melissa officinalis because it improves cognition and it helps in reducing your anxiety and fears. So few drops in hot water before bedtime is excellent for sleep. Few drops in hot water during the daytime will reduce your anxiety. And it has got a marked gastric concomitant. So lot of flatulence. So here you may mistake this with argentum nitricum. There can be also some hysteria. There can be anxiety disorders. There can be melancholia, sadness. But it is a very important calming effect. Patient becomes calm. Sleep is improved. Restlessness is less. Anxiety is less. And that is why I use this remedy for attention deficit hyperactive disorders. So ADHD. Good remedy. Think of this remedy in pediatric cases. If your routine remedies don't work, Melissa officinalis is one of the drugs to be thought of. Next, we go to Morinda. Morinda citrifolia. Now, Morinda citrifolia has a very strong anti-inflammatory effects and a very important analgesic effect.
Okay.
In fact, the tree is known as the painkiller tree. So it is very useful in inflammation of joint, arthritis, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, arthritis of any kind. If you just want to reduce the pain, then think of Morinda citrifolia. Also, it is very good for cancer pain. There are no modalities, but it is very good for cancer pain, arthritis pain, or pain anywhere in general. Also for menstrual cramps. So it is a painkiller tree. The only painkiller tree in homeopathy is Morinda citrifolia. Another is Dipodium. Dipodium is another herb also which is very close to Morinda citrifolia, which also has a painkiller property. Morinda is a very good immune system booster. So many times you will see that the lymphocyte population, especially the helper cells, the T helper cells population is very low in the peripheral blood. Taking Morinda mother tincture improves the T helper cells, and that is why it strengthens the immune system. So very good remedy when you get recurrent infections due to staphylococcus, E. coli, or streptococcus, and you want to enhance your immune system against infection. This is a very good remedy. Morinda also is good for sharp memory. So people who have memory issues, nowadays everybody takes statin and cholesterol medicine in allopathy, but statins always destroy your memory. So such people who are on statins, you can always enhance their body with Morinda citrifolia mother tincture. Also, we see lots of cases of irritable bowel syndrome in practice. This is one of the good remedy if it is associated with excessive anxiety.
Okay.
So another drug in the same category is Moringa oleifera. Now, Moringa Oliver also is a anti-inflammatory remedy. It reduces the inflammation, and that is why it is used a lot in cases of high cholesterol and also in diabetes. So I use this remedy when there is a diabetes with high cholesterol, when there is a hypertension with high cholesterol. Why? Because this particular herb prevents the formation of plaque against the arteries and keeps the artery patent instead of making it narrow. So people who are on coronary artery disease and who have put stents in their coronary artery and the stents get blocked and they have to change the stent, or to keep the stent patent, Moringa oleifera is a good mother tincture that you can give. Another is most important, cirrhosis of liver. When you do fibroscan and the report of fibroscan shows lot of fibrosis, this is the only remedy which can reduce the fibrosis of the liver, Moringa oleifera. So think of this remedy when fatty liver, when there is cirrhosis of liver. Also a good remedy when there is high cholesterol along with Alzheimer's. So if people have got some memory issues with a high cholesterol, this could be a very good remedy. Then comes Muira puama. Muira puama is also a remedy which was introduced by Wilma Schwab many years back, but I used to use, even before that, I used to import this drug. It is one of the best remedy for dysentery, antidiarrheal, amoebic dysentery, and dysentery due to even any other bacteria. This is also very good remedy for sexual disorder, especially when the interest in the sexual activity becomes lesser and lesser. Erection becomes poor, erection becomes weak on penetration, early ejaculation. So these are the indication in sexual disorder. But the concomitants are very important. So either you should have an element of diarrhea, dysentery, or an upset stomach. This is very, very important. Or the appetite stimulant. But otherwise, I call this remedy as a Vigara of homeopathy. Yeah, it is known as, I would call Vigara of homeopathy, because it definitely induces your interest in the sexual sphere and is very good for sexual insufficiency, or you can use the word impotency. The literature that I have gone through of Muira puama in scientific way is that it improves blood flow to the pelvic area. It improves blood vessels to the penis. So when there is an erection, you get a good amount of blood supply. The second use of this is it produces good amount of sexual hormones. Now we know that oxytocin, testosterone are very important for sexual appetite. So that's very important. Third is it reduces the stress in your brain so that your interest in sexual matter becomes much more better.
Okay.
So these are some of the indication. Then I would go to another herb which I use is Nagar Motha. Now Nagar Motha is a very good remedy for tuberculosis, especially if there is a fever with tuberculosis. If there is a coughing, incessant coughing, lot of coughing which does not respond to Dracera or other spongia remedies, think of Nagar Motha. Nagar Motha also has got a marked action on cough, where it could be an allergic cough also. Cases of tuberculosis where there is no appetite, person is losing weight, this is a very good remedy. So I would put this remedy very close to Drosera or Bacillinum especially when there is a cough which cannot be cured, even after giving anti-tubercular drugs, even after using Drosera or tuberculinum or any other drug. Sometimes you have to think of Nagar.
Nagar.
Yeah. Now, another remedy which Abhishek, you know that we use a lot in our practice is Nardostachys. Now,
Nardostachys.
Nardostachys is a very important remedy to calm mind, to reduce anxiety, to reduce restlessness. So all autistic patient, ADHD patient, restless patient, patient with mental retardation, mental disorders, this is one of the best remedy. The Ayurvedic doctors are using this in a crude form, but we can use it in mother tincture and potentized form.
Yes.
And it shows wonderful result as a concomitant remedy with your constitutional remedy. But there are other indications also, I would say. So sometimes the child becomes very aggressive. So in aggressive disorders also I have used Nardostachys. Also there is a concomitant of lot of foul smelling gas, constipation remaining, the stool remaining in the intestine and producing a lot of bad odor that comes out in the form of a flatus. The appetite is low. Child doesn't want to eat properly. So these are some of the indications.
Okay.
Now we go to black pill. Yes.
Sir, just because I value your time a lot, it is 30 minutes that we have done. I leave it up to you that if we want to continue, let's continue, or maybe we can.
We will do one more remedy,
Okay,
and I will
sir.
finish.
Yes, because everybody is enjoying. We have
Yeah.
roughly 80 people constantly listening, so we are eager to learn, but I value your time.
So the last remedy that I would like to talk about is black seed, kala til.
Yes.
That is Nigeria sativa. I have got wonderful cases in my practice, at least 10 of them cases. It has a marked action on the bone marrow, marked action on the platelet, especially when there is a bone marrow failure, especially there's an autoimmune disease of the bone marrow, especially when the blast cells are there in the bone marrow, premature cells are circulating in the body. This is the best remedy. I have made many additions also in the repertoire related to that. So it is one of the immunomodulator in homeopathy. I would say the best immunomodulator in homeopathy is Nigeria sativa. It is anti-cancerous also. So I would give importance to that also. But what do we see? Else do we see? The liver. In all cases of Nigeria sativa, the liver is screwed up. So the enzymes are totally out of gear. There is no jaundice, but SGPT, SGOT, alkaline phosphatase, GGTP are all always not in a proper range. Many patients where I have used this remedy, some of them were alcoholic and could not give up their alcohol. So I would say alcoholism, even though it is not mentioned in Materia Medica, but I have seen in my practice strong history of alcoholism. And there are people who used to take a lot of transfusion before coming to me, blood transfusion, because the blood was becoming less and less, or they were taking platelet transfusion, they were taking white cells transfusion. All this stopped when I started using Nigeria sativa. So these are very, very small remedies which I have been incorporating in my practice. If you ask me that how do I get information of all these remedies, so I read books on herbs. I would recommend that if you buy the program of Opus, Radar Opus, then all these remedies are included now in the repertory, synthesis repertory by Frederick Schroens. So you please read that.
Yes.
And there is a very nice book by Matthew Woods on herbs. So you can read that book also by Matthew Woods. And then on internet, I keep on always searching about herbs, and most of these I try to get it manufactured through homeopathic pharmacy if they are not manufacturing. So I also work very closely with Weasel Laboratories also. They make some remedies for me in a certain potency that I want, and it shows wonderful results. So life is an experiment also, not always knowledge. So you have to, along with knowledge, if you experiment and do research, and if you find good results, I think so. This is what homeopathy wants, huh? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
thank you so much, Abhishek. We'll meet some other time, and
Yes, sir. And
as
do
much,
more remedies.
yeah,
Whenever you have time in
yeah.
coming months, I will request you. And thank you so much for coming,
Bye.
sir. And bye, sir. I'll close it, sir. Don't worry. The screen will go off from your phone. See you all, guys, next time again.